Have you ever been in a situation where you were not feeling so confident? You were anxious and you were worried because you didn't know. You had no idea what was going to happen. You had no idea what was going to come to you. You had no idea how to even do what it is that you were doing. I mean, this could be with anything. Trying to give a speech about something that you're not sure about, trying to try a new task or a new hobby or anything new and some new work, where you get there and they're doing your orientation and you're going through all the numbers and all the stuff and you're just not quite getting it. It's like it's kind of challenging to you, where you're just unsure. And when you're unsure, you have this like extreme lack of confidence. And this extreme lack of confidence is something that is a very interesting thing, because just going on a walk today with what I'm going to say my most absolute fearful dog that I've ever been to experience, and it's one that I actually have, that I take care of, that I've been constantly building her confidence. And the number one way that I've realized to be able to build the confidence in her is by letting her know what is expected and what is to come and what is going to happen. And once she has a good understanding of knowing what's going to happen, she has this extreme sense of just confidence behind her, knowing that I know this and I know that, and if this and that, I'm going to be good to go. I wonder how many of us are just living in a crazy amount of fear because we just don't know. And so we don't have the confidence because we're not sure. But once we know, once we have a good understanding, once we have a good idea of what's happening, then you're going to have all the confidence in the world knowing that what it is that you're pursuing and what it is that you're doing, you're going to be able to get it done with no issues. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th of 1986. And today, I don't know what it is, but I got to read something in the book of Romans that really put a lot of thought in me about a whole lot that goes on when it comes to us, and how a lot of us, I noticed that we're just living in this extreme amount of fear, and it's this not knowing of what's going to happen, and this not knowing of how to be and how to do and what's going to go down. And this passage really put something in me to really just let me know that sometimes there's some things that are going to happen to us, and it's going to forcefully come to us, and we should just appreciate it. This is in the book of Romans hold on, let me double check this. Book of Romans in the 5th chapter, and I'm just going to start off with the first verse and read down to the 5th verse. And I just want to say, God help me be able to read through this and be able to get more fluent with this and get more understanding and being able to be a better reader of a speaker, as opposed to just what I already know that I'm able to speak solid with, but something that I'm really seeking more of, and to be able to be better with is being able to speak these words out of this book more fluently, so that people can clearly understand what it is that I'm saying. It's something that I'm constantly working on with myself, so that I can build my confidence with what it is that I'm doing, because I feel an extreme lack of confidence because of something that I've always had my whole life, and that is a struggle with reading, and a struggle with studying, and a struggle with understanding, because it's been just a battle of me. So I'd always just not do it, and or just run away from it, because I was just never all that great at it. Then the day of Audible books came out, and that's an absolute blessing. But I'm trying to be able to get better at doing something that I'm not so great at, that I don't have a great level of success with. And when I just keep doing it, that's where my confidence is going to be able to get me to be able to do something different on this planet. And that's something that I hope that more and more people would be able to just be able to have. Because the more we do some stuff and the better we get, the more confident we'll be. And when we're more confident, the more willing we're going to be able to want to keep doing it. And then the more willing we're going to want to be able to show someone else how to be able to do it. It's something that I hope to be able to show, because when y'all hear me read, you know I don't know how to read. But we're going to start at the first verse in the 5th chapter. And it says, "Therefore, since we have been justified through faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we have gained access by faith into grace, in which we now stand, and we boast in the hope of the glory of God. Not only so, we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that sufferings produce perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope, and hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us." That's something very interesting, because it's making sure and talking about the whole concept and the whole idea of there's going to be some suffering that comes to us, and there's going to be some challenges that come to us, and there's going to be some difficulty that comes to us. There's going to be some words and some sayings and some talks and some speeches and some just a picture that's going to come to you that's going to really put you in a deep level of suffering. And just because you're in that level of suffering doesn't mean that's you shouldn't appreciate it. And when you know that suffering is going to come to you, you have a better sense of trust. You have a better sense of confidence on this planet, knowing that nothing is just going to be so perfect and so great and so amazing and so awesome just all the time, every time, over and over. There's going to be some challenges that come. There's going to be someone that's going to say something super challenging to you that's really going to kind of get in your feelings, of kind of like almost make you have this sense of hate inside of you. And that's something that we need to really start to think a lot about, what is that's going on inside of us, to be able to get through it so that we can be able to move on onto this planet, to be able to do something different. And the more that you get through all the suffering, the more that you understand that it's there, the more that you get through these things that are damaging you and hurting you, the more confidence you're going to have. And the more confidence you have, the more you're going to be able to just move on to the next and to the next and to the next, to be able to have a high level of success, as opposed to just feeling in this extreme amount of fear and this extreme amount of hate. And something that I just see today is a whole lot of fear that someone can say something, and then all of a sudden you can have a whole mass group of people that are just in fear because of one sentence that somebody said that this may happen, and then all of a sudden that puts a lot of people in a panic. And with that is so dangerous. But knowing that there's going to be some things that are going to be said, there's going to be some stuff that's going to be done, that it's just part of the world. But knowing that when that comes, to have hope, have faith, have grace, have understanding of knowing that there's a greater purpose here, and that's not just the end and that's just it. That once you start to have that, and once you start to believe that, once you start to just have a good understanding of knowing that damaging stuff is coming, the more confidence you're going to have to be able to hear some things and just be able to process it, take it in, and be able to move forward with your life, as opposed to just sitting in it and an extreme amount of fear about it. It's something that we can get away from, fear, because that's the main thing with working with this dog out here, that just I see an extreme level of success from. Because when I build her confidence, her fear disappears. When she's scared of something, I push into that fear. And I'm like, I see you're scared. If for instance, today, one thing that she's always been scared of, today just working on a lot of, when I run behind her, she just shuts up. She's like, oh my goodness, you're gonna like come and get me and hurt me. But I see that she's scared. She's scared because she doesn't know what's gonna happen. So what I would just constantly keep doing is tell her to go ahead. Get her all excited, get her jazzed up to like go even chase something, which was just go chase my other dog. Go chase him. And then when I come running up behind you and you get like a little frightened, I'm saying, oh, it's all good, and tell you to chase. A few times of that, she would look back, she's like, oh, everything is fine, everything is okay. And it started to build up her confidence to be able to know that she doesn't need to be in fear. And that confidence has been able to just really upgrade her life and her whole existence to be able to have something powerful on this planet. And it's something with us as well. When we're scared of something, we have this fear inside of us. It's for us to really dig deep with what's going on here. What's happening here? Why am I feeling this way? What's going on with me? Because the only way that you're going to be able to gain that confidence through it is to get a good understanding of what's happening with you. If you hear someone say something and it just puts you in this just shut down mode of like, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, I don't know how to make anything happen. It's something that we need to work on with ourselves, to start processing and thinking and ask ourselves our own questions like, why is this doing this to me? What's going on? And then for the most part, in most cases, it's going to come down to more knowledge, more research, more understanding. The more that you know about what's being said, the more that you know about what's going on, the more what you know about what's being force-fed to us all day to keep us in this fear, the less fear that you're going to be in. And when you start to have more knowledge and more understanding, the confidence is going to come with you. That you're going to hear something that someone has to say, and you're just going to have the confidence of knowing, that's ridiculous. Like, I see what you're saying, I see what you're trying to do, I see what you're trying to make happen here, but that's just such propaganda to try to force me to be a certain way. And so you're going to have the knowledge knowing, you're going to have the intuition knowing, and that's the beautiful thing of basically knowing and having a good understanding of God and understanding of Jesus, to be able to have an understanding of being able to bring the Spirit inside of you so that you could be able to have discernment through things that are going on in your life, knowing that some very dangerous, drastic, tragic type things are going to start coming to you in your life, that you're going to start hearing, that are going to start coming all around to you. But it's for you to be able to have a sense of a spirit, a God-like inside of you, information, knowledge to come to you to say, it's okay, man. It's okay, girl. Calm down. That out there is just manipulation. But what's real is right here in your face and what you got going on. Don't allow that outside background stuff to just come in and infiltrate and take over everything that you're doing. That's just madness out there. And once you start to understand that, once you start to have that inside of you, and you start to let that madness go, you're going to start to be extremely confident, knowing and hearing when this crazy stuff is going on, that you're just going to push it away and get away from it. And you're going to have the confidence now of hearing some crazy stuff, and someone's going to come to you and say, I'm scared about this. And you're going to be able to have confidence to be able to talk them through it, show them, educate them, teach them, guide them, to be able to see what it is that you see so that they can get out of that level of fear. Because level of fear and any sort of fear is not what we're supposed to be living on this planet. And that's one thing that having a good understanding of knowing who Jesus is all about is going to be able to help you get away from that fear. because you can put all of your anxiousness, all of your worries upon him to be able to get new insight and new information into yourself, to be able to just get away from having that sensation inside of you. Because when you're living in fear, you're living in scarcity, and you're living in lack. You're living in strife. You're living in struggles. You're living in chaos. You're living in destruction. That's what fear, all fear is. It just keeps on bringing to you. If you're scared, if you're not going to be able to have enough to be able to do enough, you're hurting. You're not going to be able to see the beautiful and the greatness that's out here. All you're going to be doing is wanting to sit down and try to figure out how to escape, how to isolate, how to get away, how to get yourself to be able to get some sort of relief. But once you let that fear go, you're going to start seeing something completely different. Like, oh, wow, I want to go and do this. I want to make this. I want to create this. I want to make this happen. I want to grow with this. I want to help this person grow. I want to do something for them. I want to make something happen with them. And that's something that just a lot of us are struggling with. And a lot of us are struggling inside of our own households with our spouses and with our children, and even with our pets, that we're living in such a high level of fear that we come home and we bring that fear home, and we put that fear into the family. And then when that fear is into the family, then you're going to start having chaos. You're going to start having just arguments. You're going to start having battlings. You're going to start bickering. You're going to start not knowing what to say and how to say and what to do and how to do. And things are going to start to get more and more complicated. We've got to let this fear go. And a lot of fear that's going on is just in my opinion, of what I see a lot going on out here, is to separate us as people, to keep us to be further apart from each other, to keep households in just a mass amount of just strife, where one's on this side and the other's on this side, and neither is going to try to even meet anywhere to have a good understanding with each other. That's a lot of the information that's just being force fed to us, unfortunately. And if you live into that fear and you're scared and you're worried and you're anxious about it, you're gonna just be and turn into what it is that in reality, just what it is that's going to happen is you're going to end up in separations. You're going to end up in chaos. You're going to end up in situations where you're not able to do what it is that you want to do. And then when you're not doing what it is that you want to do, that's when you really start to turn into destruction, because that's the number one way for us as human beings to really just become depressed and sad and lonely and mad and irritated and just frustrated, is not doing what it is that we want to do. And when we're not doing what it is that we need to be doing and want to be doing, especially for sure, we're gonna go downhill. And we got to get away from that. That fear is making you do stuff that you don't want to do. And when you're doing that over and over, and day after week after month after decades worth of that, you're going to end up in a situation where you're just completely just shut down, and anybody can say something to get you to jump and just move and make something happen. And that's not what we should be doing. We shouldn't hear one statement and just cause a whole massive ruckus and start rioting and start going crazy and start all this hate and start all this drama because of a single word. And it's something that's happening to a lot of us today, where we're just hearing simple stuff and it's turning us into this mass amount of panic that makes us feel like we need to react and we need to move and we need to do, as opposed to just like listening to it and just saying, let me think this through. Let me get a good understanding of what's happening here. Let me try to figure out what's going on. And that figuring out and understanding and researching and learning is going to build that confidence to let you know, I don't need to do that. I don't need to be a part of that. And in reality, I need to figure out how to be able to get more people to have a better understanding of what's actually going on, so that we can not jump to just reaction mode and start to go into a nice logical thinking mode of what it is that we should be doing next. Because there's a lot going on right now that I just see on the outsides that are just being pushed, that is trying to create all of us to be in such a reactive mode that you hear something, you just want to lash out, and you see something, you just want to run away and or get scared or just be savage in a way. And that's something that is just extremely dangerous, and it's something that we should try and do our absolute best to get away from. And the only way that we're really going to get away from living in reaction mode and living in a whole lot of fear is having more knowledge and having more understanding, having more research behind you of doing what is on yourself on your own, to figure out what it is that we should and shouldn't be, and what should and shouldn't be, and what it is that you want and don't want, and start to focus more on what it is that you do want and start working on that and getting that and making that happen. Because the more that we start making that happen, the more that our world is going to start to become and be at peace. Because when you're at peace, the people around you are going to be at peace, and the more that your reach is of being in peace, the more and more people all around is just going to start spreading to become that and be that. And that's what's going to more than likely just continue to keep coming inside of your world. And that's when you're just going to start seeing a whole shift on this planet. But if you're living in chaos, the people that are coming to you are in chaos, and it's just the same way it goes. And so it's something that we need to really start to build our own confidence up, so that we're able to just feel strong and secure with who we are and what we are and what we're capable of doing and what we want to be able to present out to this world, and just make happen what it is that we want with that. And not being in a, oh, you called me this, so I'm going to be mad at you, or you did this to me and I'm going to be mad at you. Just knowing that we all need to learn how to be just extremely confident, well-mannered, just amazing people on this planet. And that's going to be able to give us something completely different, as opposed to just if somebody says one thing and it just really gets inside of you to make you want to go into hate, go into rage. It's something that we all should really start doing a whole lot of work with. And it's just me playing out here with these dogs and doing what I'm doing. And hey, May, that's chicken's feed, girlfriend. And doing what we're doing, that just, like, especially May. Hey, May. Sorry. This dog just will eat anything and all day long. Oh, let's get down. Very interesting animal here. But this animal is just in an extreme amount of fear that I've been able to help her work through the fear to be able to build the confidence. And that's the foundation that we as people need to start working upon with ourselves, is recognizing that you're scared. You're scared about something. And that's why you're lacking in what it is that you're actually able to do, because you're nervous about what's going to happen. You're nervous about what's going to come. You're nervous about how they're going to treat you and how they're going to speak to you and how they're going to say this to you and how they're going to maneuver around you. Once you start to just become more confident in yourself, you're going to start having a better self-image of yourself, realizing that I don't even care if someone just straight up looks at me and calls me whatever name they want. And I'm just going to look at you and just say, cool, buddy. Like, that's what you think? That's what you think. But I know who I am and what I want to represent and what I want to show out to this planet. So I don't care what words you call me. I don't care what name you call me. I don't care what label you throw on me. I don't care what group you want to classify me as. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to affect me in any way, because I know who I am and what I want to do and where I want to go. We all need to start being able to have that. And that's going to stop a whole lot of the fight and a whole lot of anger and a whole lot of the just drama that's going on. Because if you don't know who you are in a way, what you want to put out to the world, anybody can say one little thing that you are not happy with, and it could just send you into a rampage mode of absolute just hate and devastation in reality. And that's something that is super, super dangerous, that I just unfortunately just see more and more of this, that we are dancing around what we want. We are dancing around not doing what it is that we should be doing and want to be doing and care to be doing. And when we keep doing that, it's putting us in danger. And with that, man, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for a very interesting day for me of being able to have I did something completely different today. I brought an extra dog out to a walk that the day that I got her, everybody told me you'd never be able to do such a thing. And yet I was out there doing something with her that just kind of really, really got into me. And it really put a lot of thought in me about the whole concept of fear and seeing what fear can do to something, what fear can do to anything. And if fear can devastately destroy an animal, I only imagine what it can do to a human being if you're just living in an extreme amount of fear every day, over and over and over. And I just look at my own self and my own life and everything that's gone on with me, that for me, I felt like I've lived in fear forever. And then there was a time in a day that I just not have gotten out of it, but got out of a lot of it. And then I started to realize, like, just look around, like, man, this is a really cool, really amazing, really wonderful world. It's not so scary. It's not so dangerous. But when I'm in fear, I only see danger. I only see fear. I mean chaos. And that's something that a lot of us are running further and further into that. Just I don't want to go to the store because I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't want to go over there because something crazy might happen. I don't want to say this because something might happen to me. And that's not a quality way to be able to live. And I'm so thankful to be able to see the differences of what fear can do to you and what love and joy and peace can do to you. That it can really change your life in such a way that it could change your life in such a way that it's only going to bring you the freedom that you're looking for. It's going to bring you the relaxation that you're looking for. It's going to bring you the calmness that you're looking for. And the only way we can get through calm is get out of fear and get away from fear. And I just want to say thank you, and thank you very much.